Hi, this is Nancy from Fibro Fancy Nancy. I'm back to talk about more practical tips for living with fibromyalgia. The subject this time is cleaning. House cleaning is a challenge for anyone who's dealing with a chronic illness, and I don't necessarily have a lot of tips or tricks, but I can tell you what I do. So basically, I don't really have a schedule per se. I do try and tell myself that I vacuum on Mondays and Thursdays. And for the most part, I do. If I'm feeling really bad or I'm too busy on Monday, I'll try and get to it Tuesday and then maybe do it Friday. And then I normally dust right before I vacuum. So that's honestly about the extent of my schedule, but I do also mop the floor. We have hardwood floors in a decent sized part of our house. So, and we have two dogs, so that's something that I try and do on a regular basis. I don't mop them with cleaner as often as I just dust mop them. I mop them with cleaner maybe only once every couple of weeks. Basically, my philosophy with cleaning is to just do enough to where I feel like I'm living in a fairly clean environment. I know a lot of people clean their house from top to bottom every day or grew up with a mother who did that, and a lot of times we hold ourselves to high standards, and I just don't think that that's possible when you have a chronic illness. There are some things you have to learn to let go. And I am a perfectionist. I do like things to be pretty clean. I like things to be organized. So it's not been extremely easy for me to let some of those things go, but I've just learned to do that. I do think when you walk in our house, it looks pretty clean. I keep things put away pretty well. When I use things, I put them back. That helps a lot. I guess that could be a tip. When you use something, put it back, because if you don't, then at the end of the day or the end of a week or whatever, you're going to have everything out, and it's going to be a lot harder on yourself to have to go around and put everything back up. So I kind of try and clean as I go too. I'm not even going to talk so much about the kitchen today because that's going to be a whole separate video. Meal preparation and cleaning the kitchen and things, which I do not like. I don't mind cleaning so much. I don't even mind cleaning toilets so much, but I do not like to cook and I do not like to clean the kitchen. So that's going to be a whole separate video. But as far as keeping things livable, when you have two dogs especially, it does become important to vacuum. So that is something that I focus on, and twice a week might not sound like much to a lot of people, but it's enough for me. It might sound like a lot to some people. It just depends. I know when here's a funny story for you. We had just one dog that passed away over 3 years ago. I never vacuumed. And that dog shed more than both the dogs we have now put together. So it was pretty gross, but we had this heavy vacuum that was almost impossible for me to use, and I just couldn't do it. So I would beg my husband to vacuum, but it didn't get done very often. And we survived. A lot of it is just learning to deal with doing the best you can. Just do the best you can and don't kill yourself and put yourself into a lot more pain trying to make everything perfect. As far as laundry goes, that's something that might be a little bit embarrassing for me to admit, but I don't do my husband's laundry. I really never have. Luckily, he's not very high maintenance. He's used to it. I was sick when he married me, so he really hasn't known it any other way. I would like to be able to, because he is the breadwinner and he's the one that makes it possible for me to be able to stay home. So I would love to be able to have his socks and his underwear folded and put in his drawer every day and have everything just perfect. But I don't want to get myself more run down and in more pain enough to do that, if that makes sense. So I do pretty much all of the towels, the sheets, the blankets, things like that, and my own clothes, of course, as needed. but he is really good about doing his own, so that helps me out quite a bit. And then also in the summer, I have more to do because I have a couple of bird baths and I feed hummingbirds and I plant flowers, and so all of that has to be taken care of. So my inside chores like vacuuming and dusting don't get done quite as often, I don't think, in the summer, but that's okay. As far as heavy cleaning goes, windows, blinds, light fixtures, I just don't do it. I really don't. My husband and I will once in a blue moon do things like that together, or he will wash the windows every spring or something. So it's not like it never ever ever gets done, but it gets done on a very limited basis. If I'm feeling okay one day, I might clean. We have a couple of French doors, like glass doors. I might use Windex and clean those, but I don't stress out about it and I don't do it on a regular basis. So could this house be cleaner? Yes, but I could also be in a lot more pain trying to keep it perfectly clean, and that's not something that I want to do. I think if you take anything from this, it would be to kind of relax with it the best that you can and just do enough to get by, because that's honestly what I do. It's good enough for me. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas or tips on cleaning while dealing with a chronic illness like fibromyalgia, I would love to hear them. I'll see you next time. Bye.